Growing up, my house was a battleground for my brother and I. We constantly fought every single minute that we got with ourselves. We fought endlessly about everything, and we still are figuring out what was the fight for. That's the exact feeling I had when I was watching US presidential election debate on CNN where Joe Biden and Donald Trump they both were constantly fighting exactly the way my brother and I did a long time ago. Now, why I'm talking about it? For an obvious reason. First, I wasted my time watching it. Second, it becomes my responsibility as a personal development coach to tell the world no, that's not how debate happens. And that's what not at all the goal of debate is. Now, let me tell you exactly what debate is. Debate is where you talk about your stand, where you stand for what you believe in, where you try to prove and give the proof of what you're willing to do for the country or whatever the position that you're debating for. And more importantly, your ability to refute nicely without getting into somebody's knicker. Trust me. That's what the debate is all about. So here is a more than 2,000-year-old Ciceronian technique to win the argument, which still stands corrected. I just wish they both were schooled about at least those 6 different elements of Ciceronian technique of winning the argument. Let's dive deep into it. History has witnessed from time and time again that if you do not know how to talk about your credibility, if you don't know how to make a great first impression, and if you don't know certainly how to grab the attention in the first 3-4 seconds, you are done for the day, whether it is a match or it is a debate. So your ability to talk about your credibility is essential in any debate. So maybe when they got the first opening minute, they should have talked about what they did when they were president, one former president, one incumbent. They should have talked about a notable moment. I think they did try, but maybe I didn't understand, not because of their English, but maybe because they were like, blah, 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 yeah, more like that. So yeah, I missed that part. So build your credibility. That's the introduction part of Ciceronian technique of building an argument and winning a debate. So we have started competing apparently with fruit flies when it comes to memory and retention. And more than that, because of all the screen time and a constant juggling between so many topics and so much of knowledge that we want to acquire, what we have really lost is the ability to focus, which is why this 1 second element is way more important now than it has been, like, I don't know, in last 2,000 years. And that is concisely state what you stand for. Your major point of argument, just outline it. Outline it. Don't just get into it yet. Don't puke everything that you know about it. Just state what is it that you stand for. And I'm sure that would not have been a difficult job for, allegedly US president, right? If they knew for sure what are the 2 points and 3 points they stand for, and they should have given it a try, right? I think even my daughter, 4-year-old daughter, can do this job better than them. She knows exactly how to state clearly that this is what I want. If you want me to do something, if you want me to do my homework or maybe read ABCD to you, you better give me the chocolate that you promised. सीधी बात, no bakwas. I mean, it's not that hard. Now, third point is your message. If the second element was what? Now, this is where you talk about how. This is where you showcase your ability to communicate effectively, your ability to articulate not just your thought, not just your feeling, but the stories behind it. How did you reach to this message? How did you reach to this point? What all work, it took you to reach to this conclusion, what you're talking, what you're standing for. And, for example, if you have ever watched Doordarshan back then, I don't watch news anymore, which is why I'm going to take you back, where a very submissive or maybe strong-willed individual would sit as an anchor and would start with, today's headlines are, और आज के समाचार इस प्रकार से हैं. And they'll talk about, in a nutshell, दिल्ली में बर्फ गिरी, भारत फिर से महान देश बना, etc., etc. And then they'll say, अब न्यूज़ विस्तार से. And that Vistar se is the third element of your debate. Now, please talk about Vistar se. Okay? So, talk about your core message at length using examples and using so many anecdotal stories if possible. Now, fourth point in this argument structure is your ability to bring the proof. This is where I think women come handy, as usually people claim women remember things from the past. Well, you should learn a thing or two from them, because this is where you give a proof. Now, proof is not about just how I feel here. Now, you talk about the research, surveys, the proven points, the evidences. If you do not have that, your argument is going to be just a facade. It will have no substance within. So, if I am saying that why I stand for climate change, I better talk about what changed in the world, as in the climate, and what all countries per se got more affected, where things were drastically different. I have to give the proof that this is where survey happened, this is what happened, this is the proof, this is my claim, and this is how it was proven by the people from history till now, science, fact. And that brings me to the next point, distorting the opposition's argument, which means refutation. Now, the fifth point is you gotta refute, you gotta learn to refute. No, you're not Buddha. You're not somebody who would say, well, this is what I stand for, this is what my proof is, and then please forgive me. Don't, get into the argument. No. Your real argument, and that certainly is not from the US presidential debate that we watched on last Thursday. Trust me, it's not that, oh, you don't play, you cannot hit even 50-yard golf. Oh, I won 2 times. Woohoo. No, that's not refutation. Refutation looks like what my opposition stand for, what are the 2 major points in their manifesto, and why I disagree with it completely. And here is my reason, here is my proof, and that's not it. A good, confident orator would go even a little extra mile to ask a question from their own manifestation. That is the way of making your opposition uncomfortable. Now, sixth point, I'm going to twist a little bit here. Why? Because I'm going to show you the difference between a good speaker and a fantastic orator. Now, a good speaker would be who would be willing to give you conclusion, as in like what all they talked about. They'll jot down the major points that they talked about, what they stand for. Let's call it a summary or sum up or synopsis. They'll give you. That's a job of a good speaker, good communicator. But you know what one element, what is that one thing that differentiates from good speaker to extraordinary orator? It is their understanding that people remember beginning or the end. So what they do is they do not redo the ending by talking about everything that they just talked about. They bring something else in their conclusion, and that's called emotional appeal. They know I have done my job well, but now it's not the logic. On that basis, people make judgment and decisions. It is their emotional connection with things. So if I don't appeal to their emotions, no matter what I say, what I have said, what I stand for, or whatever the proof I have given, unless I appeal to their emotion, they ain't gonna be my side. They ain't gonna vote for me. They ain't gonna bat for me, right? So a fantastic orator knows, as in conclusion, always try to have some emotional appeal, like how I see, how I believe Obama did, how I want to see the US, amazing again, great again. And in a general sense, when you're going to go debate in your college or anywhere else, remember the people who are listening to you, whether it is in digital, media or a live audience, whosoever are listening to you, they are human being. They like you, they look up to you, but they'll make their decisions on the basis of whether or not you appeal to them. So maybe talking about how you feel. This is the right time to talk about your feeling and how they should feel. Going extra mile about it, and then drawing something else out of it, which is what action we both should take together to make it a reality. Now, if you're still with me, here is a bonus for you. And that bonus is I'm going to really show you how to do it here. So first point was the credibility, Second point was laying down the main point of argument. Third was talking at length about your message, the core idea. Fourth was giving a proof. Fifth was refuting the opposition. And sixth was giving a conclusion, especially with emotional appeal, which is action oriented. So now let me give it a try. My name is Khushi Singh, and I have taught more than 25,000 people from all walks of life for their ability to speak in public. I taught them the importance of appearance, behavior, and communication, and reinforcement in public. And here is what I stand for. I truly believe, regardless of the profession that you are into, if you can somehow work upon your ability to speak in public, you can drastically change your life and career once and for all. There are various methods and ways to work upon your public speaking ability, but it starts with an intention to go out, make an effort, and speak to people. And this is what I tell people, that begin with small step, which is start socializing. If it's not possible for you, maybe start consuming different information from different sources, and try speaking about it to the people at home or maybe in your friend circle, or always at least give it a try. At least make some effort to have a good icebreaker in your next meeting and next meeting and next meeting. That could be really a great beginning. Now, when I say this, there are people who might think otherwise, who might say otherwise, that no, it's not that important. Your ability to speak in public is just limited. It's not so much required unless you have to give presentation. Then let me ask you this. Even if you work behind the desk, even if your dealing is with machines, I believe you do build relation at home. You do have people at home. You do want to have good time with your friends, even if it's just a circle of 2 or 3 people. Whether it is networking with other people, building relation, getting things done, asking for help, or maybe teaming up to do something extraordinary, your ability to articulate your thoughts and feelings is going to be the most essential and most important element in your life, which is why it is important that you take care of it. Now imagine this. You are in a meeting room, you're delivering a presentation, and you're super fluent, super confident, and you're looking into the eyes of not just the people you work with, not just the people who are your team member, but your bosses, your immediate superiors, and you really are getting and seeing the respect in their eyes, or maybe they are awe-inspired. Maybe they think, oh my God, what a fantastic and clear presentation. Wouldn't you like that? Wouldn't you? So work upon your public speaking ability and debate better. Learn from these 6 steps that we talked about from Ciceronian formula of making great argument. Do not learn from the people currently who have been on the name of debate, of fighting, or I don't know, settling the scores, or their passive aggression. They are settling the score for that. Whatever it is, learn from the best. Learn from the Ciceronian formula. Give it a try. And I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight. I'm not saying overnight you're going to be a fantastic debater. You're going to stand in a debate room and you're going to win over the world. All I'm saying is this awareness is going to be the stepping stone in your life and career. My name is Khushi Singh. I've stated that before too. I'm signing off with the hope that you're going to subscribe, like, and comment. And maybe you would like to talk about which out of 6 different elements of the argument you have been doing so far, you have been utilizing so far, which one you are missing. And do not forget to let this video reach out to as many people as possible, as so many people need this. Help each other and share with everybody.